This computer. All right, perfect. Got it. All right, so who we have here? Andre's on here.
Andre's back. Wow. Oh, awesome.
Your photographer's here too.
Oh, there she is. Well, no pictures today. Pictures
I'm driving.
today. Oh man, I always look forward to those. You'll wait till you see my slide. You probably took the picture. How do you pronounce your name again?
Nuha.
Nuha. Got it. Cool. So you want to get started in like 2 minutes?
Yeah, just start when you're ready. People will chime in. It's happened. And have to chime out. And it is what it is.
Cool.
Yeah. But thank you for doing this.
Say that again.
Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure. It's gonna be fun.
Try to keep everything moving.
No, that's important. You need some kind of consistency or some form of normal. You try to force it in there if you can.
Yeah, for me, it's important. It's important.
Cool. All right, guys, we're gonna get started. We got Mohammed here. Cool. We'll get started in about a minute. I'm gonna pull up my slides and hopefully you guys will be able to see it. I'm not a Zoom connoisseur. It's completely new to me as well. And then I'll mute you guys as well so that way we don't hear everyone once we get started. So there you go. I see you now. There he is. So yeah, and for communication until I unmute you guys, we could just use the chat. So just so that we make sure that the chat is working, just right in there so I can know where I'm looking at. Say what up, say, have you had a good day? I hope it's been sunny outside, so it wasn't too bad, but unfortunately you can't go outside. It's not wise. There you go, great day. Okay. Hi people, yep. All right, the comments is coming in. Cool. All right, I see it. Hello guys. Andre, what's good? Yo, Andre, we're sneakerheads, Andre and I. So Andre, I got some new pair of ones. I'm gonna have to send it to you a picture afterwards. Maritza, hello. It's snowing here. Where's here? It's snowing. It's snowing in Syracuse for real? Leah. Oh, got you. All right, guys, let's get this show on the road. Let me go ahead and mute everyone. So I've done that. So I got that part out of the way. Let's see if you can share my screen. Let's get that part up. In the comments, just let me know if you see my screen. In the comment section, guys, can you see my screen? Where did my chat box go? There it is. Oh, let's go. How do I move my mouse? Oh, there you go. No. I just want to see where the chat is at. Give me a second, guys. Let me see if I can move my mouse this way to see the chat button. It's crazy how like they make me miss my mouse. Like my mouse don't have no cursors. How do I make this work? Give me a second. Hold on. I'm gonna figure it out. Let me get the chat going. I see chat. So everybody says, I see you, Gio. Do you guys see the screen as well? You guys see the screen? Yes. Thumbs up. I see thumbs up. Okay. Perfect. All right. Hopefully this chat box won't disappear again. All right. Here we go, guys. Let's get this show on the road. So first and foremost, we want to get started. I wanted to start off by playing a game. All right. Let's play a game first. In the chat box, you can go ahead and write down your answers specifically to what we're doing. So the game we're playing first and foremost is called Guess the Emoji. Have you guys played this before? Let me know if have you guys played this game before? I see no. Anybody play this game? Guys, I played this game on my phone so many times. I see some thumbs up, so this is cool. Let me Okay, perfect. Never. Oh, okay, this is going to be even better. All right, so here it goes. So in the chat box, I want you to write out what this emoji is. Let's see. Uh-oh, I think somebody got it. Somebody said catfish. You got it. All right, it's going to get a little bit harder as we go on. It's catfish. Got it. All right, here's the next one. Ready? Well, there go the answer. Here we go. What is this? Let me see. Which one is this one? Write in the comment section if you guys can guess what this one is. Jackpot, that's a good guess, but it's not the answer. 7-Up, that's a good guess too. That's not the answer. Lucky 7, good guess. Thumbs up. Yanari, or Yanara, that's how you pronounce it. I hope I pronounced your name right. Good luck is the answer. Good luck is the answer. That was a close one. A lot of people had some good guesses. Here goes another one. What is this? What is that one? Let me see what you got. What is this one? Write in the comments box which one you guys think this one is. I wish I had some Jeopardy music right now. Somebody, pen pals, you got it right. Pen pals. Wow. I ain't gonna, just a pure confession. It took me like about 5 minutes to figure this one out earlier today. 5 minutes. All right, here we go. We got, I think, 2 more. Which one is this? Which is this one? Let me hear it. I gotta get you guys stuck on something. I gotta get somebody to be like, hey, we all give up. Let's see. Let me see in the comments. Which one is this one? Fight Club. Oh, but you winning all of these ones. Man, you're getting all the answers. You might have to wait and give people a turn. Like you are killing the game right now. Knockout was a good guess. Here's the last one. What is this? Come on, I gotta get somebody stuck. I gotta get someone stuck, please. Come on. Guess jeans. That's correct. Good job, man. Smarty pants. Jason, that's so funny. Smarty pants. That's hilarious. Guess jeans is the right answer. Guess jeans is the right answer. What did I do here? Hold on. American Eagle. Nah, that wasn't it. It was Guess jeans. All right, guys. So as you see, just want to make this lighthearted. I want this presentation to be fun, not boring, not like you're sitting in that class that you really don't miss. I want it to be super engaging. I'm gonna have a good time. And when I think about the situation that we're in right now, it seems like we have more time than ever before for a lot of people. Time is like what is like, so many people just talking about it. What do I do with my time? I posted on Instagram and had a lot of people telling me I'm bored. Like, I'm just tired of watching Netflix. I'm tired of watching Hulu. I got Disney Plus. Everybody got some kind of subscription account to go ahead and figure out how do we go ahead and pass the time. And so today I thought, what would be a better presentation than to talk about time? To talk about how do we look at time? How do high performers look at time? And if we can get this thing together, if we can lock this specific topic down and get to a point of mastering it, I think it'll help you not only as a student, it'll help you in your personal life, it'll help you in your professional life as well, if we could figure out specifically about time. So in this moment, the time that we have together, if you could just lock in, put your phone on. I got mine on Do Not Disturb. Close the chats so that way you're not distracted, so we could really go and pour in and get exactly what you need out of it. This will be super, super helpful. Someone said here, do you mean time management? Hold on. Let me just see something real quick. All right, perfect. So yeah, so we're going to talk about time management, but here's the thing I want you to, like, that's so tricky about time management. When we talk about time management, here's the crazy thing. Can you really manage time? Can we really manage time if we think about it? Like, let's say right now you are like, you know what? I just want it to be 3:43 p.m. forever. You can't press pause and the time not go by. The time is going to continuously go on and on and on and on and on, no matter what. And so we can't necessarily manage time, but we can go ahead and spend it a specific way, right? We can spend time. And so when we think about time, just in the chat, tell me, what are some famous sayings you've heard about time? Or what are some thoughts when it comes to time that you have heard? Maybe it's a cliche, maybe a bunch of people have said it before. Just write in the chat, what are things that when you think of time, what do you think of? When you think of time, put it in the chat. Time is of the essence. Yep. Time flies. Grandfather time. There is no time. Pressure. Yes. Anything else? What else do you think about with time? There is no time. Time is of the essence. Time flies. Grandfather time. Pressure. Assignments are due. Maritza is in school mode, like, yes, I gotta do these assignments. What else? What else? What else? We have a lot of different things about time, and I'm gonna share with you horology. I don't even know what that is. What is horology? Time is of the essence. Andre said that. Someone said that earlier. Good. The study of time. The study of time. Here's the one that I didn't see. I was surprised I didn't see this one. You guys see that? Time is money. How come no one? Have you ever guys heard that before? That time is money? There you go. I see hands raised. Hands raised. Cool, cool. So time is money. Now, you probably are wondering, Gio, why do you have $86,400 on this screen? The reason why, anybody can guess why? Anybody can guess why I have $86,400 on the screen? Who hacked my slides and knows it? Why is it $86,400 on the screen right now? What does that got to do with time? Let me see. What does that got to do? Seconds, Muhammad said it, seconds of the day. Every single day, we get 86,400 seconds. Every single day, like clockwork. Every day, it just renews. But how we spend those seconds will determine the life that we ultimately have. So time is money. What you do with that time also ultimately is what provides the value that will help you change your life. And so today I want to just share with you some of the top secrets that I've learned from high performers, people who are super, super accomplished in what they've done. And the common thing for all the people who are high performers, it's always been the way they have looked at time, the way they've operated with time. All of those things related to time is the reason why they're successful. That's what separates a lot of the haves and the have-nots, is the fact that we just use our time differently. And so we're going to talk about that today. But number one thing I want to talk about also is wasting time is worse than wasting money. Anybody can tell me why? Why is wasting time worse than wasting money? Yeah, I see you typing. I can't wait. You never get it back. That is the right answer. You never get it back. You see, I can go ahead and buy something and I don't like it. It sucks. I can go and do that and immediately say, hey, I want a refund. Give me my money back. I didn't get the value that I thought I was going to get for the money that I gave you for it. However, with time, if you waste those 86,400 seconds, guess what? It's gone. So today is Good Friday. It's Friday. There will never be another April 10th, 2020. Once it's gone forever. And so how we operate and how we look at the time is going to help us tremendously in being highly, highly productive. So when I think of a lot of high performers and low performers, the reality is that It's not what they have, because we all have time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same days in a week, right? 7 days. It's what they do with what they have that gets them the results that they have, right? So why aren't we able to like manage time or operate at a high level? It all boils down to this one thing. And if you don't get anything else from this presentation, I'm telling you right now, this one thing right here is the reason why a lot of us are confused. A lot of us are thinking like, man, I'm crazy right now with all this time, is because we're not clear on what is it that we should be doing with that time. We're not clear. It's like, dang, man, like, I don't know if you guys are like me. You sit down and you're like, shucks. Whew, what I'm going to do now? You sitting around, you're like, dang, man, it's still 9 o'clock? Sheesh, like, where's the time going? Like, the time almost seems like it's frozen a lot of times because of the fact that we don't have clarity. But the people who, like, are crushing it, you see people right now that's like, yo, ooh, I'm going to come out better after this quarantine. Wait till you see me. Those people, they have a clear goal in mind. And so now because they have clarity, they're able to go ahead and say, oh, snap, look, I know what to do with my time. And when you give me more of it, it doesn't drive me crazy. It actually excites me and makes me more productive and makes me more motivated to get work done. But the key thing is you have to be clear on what it is that you want. And so what I want to share with you is like the cocktail, clarity cocktail, the clarity cocktail. Now I know, listen, I'm not talking about happy hour. That's been canceled, unfortunately, for a lot of people. But the clarity cocktail is like the things that you need to have in place, that when you have them in place, it'll help you gain clarity. And once you have that, then you're able to go ahead and take advantage of the time that you actually have and maximize it. So first, what is it that you want? What is it that you want? Those 4 words, guys, is probably one of the toughest questions that you could ever ask yourself. What do you want? Anybody, what do you want? Tell me. Like, I just want to hear, like, I'm just curious what type of stuff that you guys actually want. What do you want? Write it in the chat. Don't tell me no Yeezys, Andre. What is it that you want? Write it in the chat. Knowledge. That's a good one. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I want to be successful. I want to better myself. I want $1 billion. Me too. What else? What do you want? Food. Shucks. Yes. Grubhub, Uber Eats. Be efficient. I want to finish my assignments. Amen to that. I want Starbucks, Jason said. I want Starbucks too. I miss my mango dragging fruit. That's what I want more than anything else. Success, Andre said. So I see a lot of us have these things. Here's what it is I want. I want to become an advocate. I don't know why this chat thing is. I want to utilize time better. I want to be time efficiently. Let me see if I can move this over. All right, let's see. Nope. All right, be more productive. I see that as well. So here's the next step. So now when we identify what it is that you want, right? So some of you said, I want to finish my assignment. Some of you said, I want to, some people said Starbucks, right? Some people said, I want success. I want to better myself. I want to be more efficient with my time. I want to be more productive. When someone says they want to be more productive, my question would be, for what? Like, what's the purpose behind why you want to be more productive? Like, what result will come will come because you are more productive? So productive is like a trait. Like, it's almost like me saying, I want to be a hard worker. Yes, I want to be a hard worker, but for what? Like, why do you want that? Why do you want that stuff? So think about that as well. We're going to go and talk about it a little bit later when we form our plans. But figure out, like, what is it that you want? Why do you want it is important as well. Why do I want that thing? Then you want to go ahead and write those things down. It's super important to write these things down. Let me show you. I'm going to go and get one of these things. I forgot to bring it out here. But you'll see, I'm back, right? And then say, write what you want down. I have this that I keep in my wallet. And on it, it has the things that I want, right? So I have, like, I want to become a dad one day. I want to do a TEDx talk. I want to get on TV. I want a new car, BMW or Benz specifically. No credit card debt. Anybody want no debt? Right? No debt, right? I want to weigh under 300, not 300, under 230 pounds. So you want to write these things down because you want to be able to check and see, am I getting any progress towards this? So when I look at this list right now, I'm like, oh, snap. Because I wrote it down, I now know, oh, I am under 230 pounds. Oh, snap, I was on ABC. Oh, the TEDx talk, I did that in New Jersey. Writing these things down is such a great way for you to like look back and see how far you've come and to see what you've accomplished and what you've yet to accomplish. So you want to write those things down so that you're clear, so that when you wake up in the morning and you're like, Dad, I don't know what to do, pull it out. When you don't know what to do, pull out what it is that you said you want. Write these things out, and you can want more than one thing. So as you see here, I have a list of 12 things. You can want more than one thing, but make sure you write it down so you can go and have an idea, because when you wake up in the morning and you're not sure what you want, that's the key to being the least productive you could possibly be. The worst thing in the world you want is to wake up in the morning and be like, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? If you're planning your day on the day, you too late. It's late. So you want to plan your day ahead of time by going ahead and writing down what it is that you want. Then you want to talk about, like, when do you want it by? Right? When do you want it by? You want some kind of deadline. You want to write down, what steps do I have to take to get it done? What steps do I have to take to get it done? Then you want to write down, what steps am I going to go and put into place to go and make it happen? Then you want to execute the plan. And last but not least, you want to make sure that every single day you're doing something towards what it is that you want to do. Every single day you want to do something. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be something so that over and over, you are able to make progress. Think about like a blizzard. When you see a blizzard, it's just one snowflake that just comes on top of another snowflake that comes on top of another snowflake that comes on the top of another snowflake. And before you know it, that combination now automatically becomes this big snow, a big block of snow that really stops everything. So you want to make sure that you have these things written down. You want to know, what is it? Because if you're not sure, you're never going to be productive. If you don't know what you're aiming at, it's like getting in a car and going into the GPS and telling the GPS, like, the GPS don't give you directions until you say where the destination is. And I know Arel talked about that last week. Like, you have to know what your destination is. You got to know what is it that you want. Knowing what you want is going to help you identify what steps I got to take. It's going to help you identify what things should I do, what things should I not do, and help you to create your plan so that you can go ahead and accomplish your goal. So let me go to the next one. The next slide, where's my mouse, is this. Let me ask you guys a question. Who would society say is more productive? Keyword, who would society say is more productive? The person on the left or the person on the right? Write in the chat, which person? The person on the right or the person on the left? Which one would society would say, man, that person's productive? The right. Somebody said, Tiana said the left. Alyssa said the right. Yanara says the right. See it, all right, right, left, right. I feel like it's like right. I see right. It's like almost like a video game. Right, left, up, down, A, B, C. Right? So the society would say that the person who did more is the one who's more productive, right? But let me show you this. Here's the results of the two people. The person on the left, they only did the things that was bolded in blue. They finished 2 pages of their paper and they applied for jobs. That's the only 2 things they did. The person on the right took out the trash, called their mom, scheduled a doctor's appointment, made their bed, put the laundry away, washed the dishes, shredded paper, checked their emails. They did 8 things instead out of the 10. The person on the left did only 2 things out of the 10. Now, if you're looking at this, which one would you say would be more productive? Let me see. Left, right? So let's see left. It's kind of obvious, right? So it's the one on the left. Like the one on the left is like the one that gets you more of the result that you're looking for, right? So Tiana says left, right? So the person on the left has done things that is more productive, more valuable than taking out the trash. And I'm going to talk later on about how do I identify which things on my list I should be doing versus the things that are on my list that I should just leave alone. It's not an emergency. It doesn't produce a lot of value in my life. So here's the thing I want you to realize, and this is something one of my mentors taught me. They taught me that not all activities are created equal. Not all activities are created equal. So when we look over here, yes, was taking out the trash, calling mom, scheduling a doctor's appointment, making my bed, putting the laundry away, washing the dishes, shredding paper, checking emails. Were those activities? Absolutely. But is it going to lead to an accomplishment? More likely not. If I apply for a job, I might get I get a career, I get a job, I get some income, I finish my paper, I'm one step closer to going to graduate, getting a good grade. That's more productive than the other activities. So again, not all activities are created equal. Here's the reality, and this is something that I think was so hard for me to understand. I always thought that if I did more, it just meant that I was more productive. I'm like, yo, the more things I do, the better it is. But in the game of productivity, less is more. In the game of productivity, less is more. I know last week, if you guys were on here, Aurel talked about the Pareto principle, which is like the 80-20 rule, which talks about how 80% of the results you get comes from 20% of the things that you do. If you just focus on the 20%, so if I had a list of 10, if I only did 2 of the things, that produce 80% of the results that I have. So 2 in the game of productivity is greater than 10. 2 is greater than 10. And I know it's tough because it's like, we keep thinking, yo, you ain't doing enough. Yo, come on, you gotta hustle. You gotta do more and more and more. And people don't realize that if you do more of the wrong things, you just get the wrong results faster. Right? Like if you do more of the wrong things, you just get wrong results faster. So it's not about how much you do. It's about how much of the right things did I do and focusing specifically on that. So when we talk about 2 is greater than 10, guys, like, what are some things that right now, if you were to go and write it in the chat, that you're like, this is, and I think the crazy thing about it, we all have a good idea of what those 2 things are. If we're to sit down, checking Instagram the 5th time in the day is not going to make you more productive. But we still do it, right? We do it. I have a thing on my phone where it shows me that I've been on for like 5 hours. I'm like, I've been on social media for 5 hours? I'm like, oh my gosh. Now that's cool if you work for Twitter, Facebook. If you work for them, that's cool. But for me, I don't work for those companies. So why am I spending 5 hours in an 8-hour workday? I am spending 5/8 of that day on social media versus focusing on what are the 2 things that I should be doing. So let me write down a chat. And for students, I know it's a little bit different. I know some of you have kids. Some of you have full-time jobs and you're going to work. So there's a lot of things that's pulling for your attention. As students, or maybe as a parent or as just a person, what are some important things that you're like, Gio, this thing, when I do it, makes the biggest impact in my life? Besides brushing your teeth in the morning. That's very important. Make sure you brush your teeth in the morning. What are those things? What are those things that's important that you're like, Gio, when I do those 2 things, oh my gosh, it changes the game for me? Write that in the chat. What are some things, what's that big thing? Like, oh my gosh, this thing is not like the thank God for another day. Gratitude. Gratitude is super important. What else? Assisting others, Tiana said. Yep. Staying focused. What else? Hold on. I just wanted to move the chat. You guys don't see the chat on my screen, right? Good. All right, cool. You don't have the chat. Perfect. So here's a video I just want to show you guys real quick, just to illustrate being determined. Just look at this video real quick for 2 minutes. The glass represents time. which is limited. That's 24 hours. Watch this. You can see there's still rocks in that basket, right? Now look at this when he does it over again. Nothing's changed. Same jar. These are not magic rocks, same rocks. There go the pebbles. Dude, this thing is like magic. Sheesh. Check it out. Look at it. Everything empty. Completely, right? Have you guys seen this before? Wasn't that impressive? Like how is the same exact jar, same sand, same rocks, and he was able to get everything in there. Nuha says is like prioritizing. Absolutely. It's like prioritizing. Like so that's one of the biggest things when it comes to us being able to go and be more productive is what order is it done in? It's not wrong to go and do some of the sand stuff. It's not wrong to do some of the pebble stuff, but if we put them in the wrong order, then what happens is the things that are important, the big rocks represent, you have to set your chat to everyone, bro. Hold on, let me see. What do you mean? Set my chat to everyone. Can you guys not hear me? Anyone? You guys, you can hear me? Just write in the chat if you can hear me. I just want to make sure we can hear. I hear you. Mohammed, you said you have to set your chat to everyone. What does that mean? Did somebody send you a private message? Oh, wrong text. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't go and say something and you guys couldn't hear. All right, perfect. So it's the things in the order, getting the big stuff done first and then going ahead and specifically getting the other things. And you'll find that you'll have room to do pretty much everything if you do it in the right order. But if you go ahead and let's say you wake up in the morning and you spend, 2-3 hours on Instagram. Not, again, that's just hypothetically speaking. We use 2-3 hours on Instagram. You got 8 hours to work in a day. Now you got 5 hours left. Then you go to work and you're like, yo, dag, man, I got so many emails. So now you spend about an hour on emails. Then now it's lunchtime. So now you got a 1 hour lunch break. Right now we're already at 6 hours. There's 2 hours left in the day for work, right? So now you got 2 more hours, and now you're like, dag, all right, finally, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get the stuff that I need to get done right now. Now, at 6 hours later, now you're tired. Now you ate lunch, you got the itis. You falling asleep, right? You feeling sleepy. And now you're trying to do your biggest work at the time that you have the least amount of energy. And so now what happens is that work, maybe out of the 2 things that you had to do for that day, you might get half done in the 2 hours. Now you didn't get it done, and let's say that's how you repeat your cycle every single day. And now what happens? Dad, my projects are so behind. Oh, snap. But you got like a lot of social media. You checked a lot of emails, but you didn't get the big rocks out of the way first. So priorities is important. So let me ask you guys this. We're going to go to the next slide. Rocks, pebbles, and sand. It's kind of like rock, scissors, papers, but just a little different. So rocks, pebbles, and sand. So the rocks are the big rocks, right? You saw in the video, the big rocks. These are the things that are super important, that have the most value for you. That if you did them, it would help change your life or move you closer to that big goal that you have. So maybe for you, you might be in hostels and you're like, I want to graduate. Okay, that's my thing. That's what I want. What are the big rocks that I have to go and put in place to make sure that I can reach that goal? Those are the things you like. What are the going to class, going in to office hours, going to class and completing your assignments. Those could be your big rocks, right? Then you want to think about what's your pebbles. What are your pebbles? Pebbles are things that if you did them, if you didn't do them, there would be consequences, but they wouldn't be major. If you didn't do them, there would be consequences, but they wouldn't be major. So those are like the middle tier. So the big rocks, they gotta get done. If I don't get this done, these are the things like if I don't go to class and I don't get my assignments done, I'm not graduating. So I have to do those things. The pebbles, here's the pebbles. They're important, but they're not more important than the big rocks. So what could be some pebbles? Pebbles could be going to club activities. They're important. Is it like, if you don't go to a club activity, are you not going to graduate? No. However, they help to better you, right? They help to give you an experience, to help create community. You guys are on here on a Friday, which is amazing. On a Friday, you guys are on here and you guys are all student ambassadors, right? So that's could be kind of like the pebbles, like, but it's important to have those in place as well. But the consequences of not doing them is not as catastrophic as the big rocks are. Then we have the sand. Brian said, good looking, bro. So what's the sand? What are the sand? Sand is the emails, is the social media, is the watching the NBA highlights for the 20th time. Guys, right now we have so much time and we could just watch, and every TV channel is putting on marathons. I watch, guys, for a whole day, please don't judge me. For a whole day, I watched Law and Order. They had a marathon on USA. I watched Law and Order all day long. The most unproductive day I've had in this whole self-quarantine stuff was doing that stuff. Let me ask you guys, I don't want to be, let me judge you a little bit. What are some sands that you have seen come up a lot more, especially during this time where we're all at home? Write it in the chat. Tell me, what are some of the things that are sands? Tiana says, I love Law and Order. Tiana, SVU. Oh my gosh. That's my thing. Mustafa says television. Distances per person. Snacking. SVU is my favorite. Yep. Netflix binge. Washing dishes. Walking the dog. I spent my whole night watching 24 hours. I feel like I finished the whole Netflix. That's crazy. like I watched everything on Netflix. We've all done it. Like what's crazy is that and it's not bad that you watch Netflix. It's not bad that you wash dishes. It's not bad that you walk the dog, right? You don't walk the dog, your carpet's gonna be really messed up. Those are things that aren't bad things. However, if we do too much of them, or if we do them first, there won't be room for pebbles. There won't be room for big rocks, right? I see someone says watching Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, Black Lightning. Mirza said. Tiana said writing papers, applying to jobs, taking online coding classes. So those are some big rocks. Those are some big rocks. Online baking class at night, Netflix, Black Lightning is lit. So yes, all of these things, when you think about it, it plays a big role in how we go and how accomplished we feel versus we're so behind, we haven't done anything. Identifying what those big rocks are, identifying what your pebbles are, identifying what your sand is, right? Like what is your sand? If you could identify those things, oh my gosh, you will be light years ahead of a lot of students, and not just students, a lot of people. Guys, a lot of people are losing, they're not succeeding, not because they can't, it's because they just don't use what they have well. They're just not using what they have well. Guys, we all have 24 hours in a day. We all do. How we spend it is going to determine what we have. So let's say someone got money and they're like, yo, you know what? Instead of spending $200 on these Jordans, I'm going to spend the $200 and buy, you know, maybe like 5 shares of stock on Zoom, because Zoom is $40 a share now. Now they go and buy something that's an asset that can make them money. Me buying Jordans, unless I'm flipping them, is not going to necessarily make me money, and or it's going to produce something of benefit for me, especially long term. I want you to think about it from a long term perspective as well. Like, what things will have a long term benefit for you? Like, you graduating with your associate's degree and then getting your bachelor's degree, there's a long term benefit for that, right? What else could you do? Exercising, there's a long term benefit for that. So you want to focus on activities that will lead to accomplishments, and not like, no one is getting a trophy for watching Netflix all day. It would be cool if they was giving awards, but no one's saying, hey, you know what? You watch 24 hours of Netflix? Listen, here's your trophy. You're accomplished. No, absolutely not. But if you go ahead and you go and focus on activities like writing your papers, applying to your jobs, online coding classes, Sandra said she would win if that was the Netflix challenge. One of the things is also, I love what Tiana said. Tiana said, like, taking online coding classes. The cool thing about taking online coding classes, and right now is a great time, guys, you can start to develop a skill because we have time. Skills like learning how to go and code, learning how to go and write great resumes, learning how to write great cover letters. Getting skills is going to take you to another level. And that's one of the high value things that you can do to go and make the best use of your time. So that way, they always say rich people, what they do, their money makes money. Rich people, their money makes money, which is crazy. Like, their money makes money. So if we're saying time is money, then what can you do with your time that will help to create more time? Also taking salary negotiation workshops. Oh my gosh, Tiana's doing it. Now, this is awesome. What classes could you take? What classes could you take online? There are classes online now that people are offering for free because everybody's online. Everybody's at home. So what skills can I gain, right? What is something, if you want to write in the chat, tell me in the chat, what is a skill that you would like to have that if you had more time, you would go and focus on it? I'm just curious, like, what type of skills? I see Tiana has salary negotiation. She got, I see Tiana got online baking classes, online coding. What are some skills? Mohammed said typing, 100%, right? Typing is so important. If you could type 150 words a minute, oh my gosh. You type 200, guys, that's programs online where you could practice your typing. I remember when I first started typing, I was typing like 40 words a minute. Now I could type about 110 words a minute. Could you imagine? Now you got to write a 500-page paper, 500-word assignment, and you could write 100 words a minute? How much faster? And obviously you got to think when you're typing, so you're not going to finish the assignment in 5 minutes. However, you can finish a lot faster because you now have this skill of being able to type. Tiana says, Hostos offers free online typing courses. Check with the IT department or EDU Teach. Guys, this is the gems. This is what I love when we get together. You guys are always sharing some good stuff, man. So this is the thing. We can get on EDU Tech, You can go and pick up a skill. You can go ahead and learn how to type. You can go and do painting and go and sell stuff online. People are selling stuff online. One of the things I do when I get more time, I go and learn how to sell stuff on eBay. I sell stuff on eBay. They were like, yo, how do you do that, Gio? I just took a class. I took a class online, learned how to sell something on eBay, And before you know it, I started looking around my house. I'm like, what could I sell? What could I sell? I started looking for everything around me to figure out what can I sell. So because I learned this new skill. And I've done a great job with eBay. Those who, if you afterwards hit me up, if you want to learn how to do the eBay stuff, I could definitely show you. Nuha said, use books. Absolutely. I got a bunch of them. Use books right here, right? The Hate You Give, right here. Brian says pretty much anything that you're interested in, you can actually YouTube it. Yes. So instead of watching Netflix for 24 hours or going on social media and watching every single other person go on Instagram Live, right? You can go and spend some of that time going on YouTube and learning something. Facts, I have done books I want to. Sandra says she's going to hit me up. She got books that she want to sell. So I can show you guys how to go and do that at another time. But you can learn a skill from this thing of identifying what stuff of value can I do. So when thinking about what's your big rocks, what's your pebbles. Somebody says eBay would be I would like, for me, will sell my sneaker design like Andre. So sneaker design, right? So you could take a class on sneaker design. I just started watching a series on sneaker design. That industry is $1 billion industry, just sneakers in general. So learning the skills is super, super important, guys. You got to learn the skills. That is key to making progress and being productive. Now, let me ask you guys a question. And this is something that, guys, when this hit me, I couldn't believe this when I read this in a book, and I started to notice this, and I started to ask my mentors who are multimillionaires, and I was like, yo, what do you do? Like, you guys are like high performers. Like, what do you guys do that's different than other people? What do we have in common? And the answer to this question really blew me away. So I just want to see what guesses you guys have before I reveal the answer. What do high performers and low performers have in common? Write it in the chat. Communication. Stress, living, 24 hours. Keep going. So Muhammad said stress. Mustafa said living. Bajaji, I think that's how, I hope I said your name right. So sorry if I didn't. 24 hours. What do high performers and low performers have in common? They perform. That's true. They have goals. Thalia, good to see you on here. Said to perform. His name is Muiz. Okay. Time, self-esteem. They do have those things in common. Determined. So there's a lot of things that we have in common. So it's so crazy, like how we all do similar stuff. Even though high performers, we all got time, we all got self-esteem, determination, we perform, right? Here's the thing that they do. How many of you guys write in the chat, me, if you procrastinate? In the chat, write me if you procrastinate. Sandra says me. I'm guilty. I'm raising my hand. I'm guilty of procrastination. Liliana said, yes, me, right? Like procrastination. Like, I don't know about you guys. If I had to get myself another middle name, procrastinate would be it. So a lot of you guys, I've seen the chat, you guys are all saying you all procrastinate. So here's the crazy thing. No, me, myself, and I, Nuha said. So what's crazy is when we think about procrastination, we both do it. High performers procrastinate, low performers procrastinate. Liliana said, wow, procrastinate is your middle name. Yes, guilty as charged, Maritza said. We all procrastinate, but I want you guys to feel good about yourselves a little bit. Listen to this. The high performers, they do it too. They procrastinate too. So you might be asking yourself, well, how come they get what they get and I get what I get, but we both doing the same thing? I'm glad you asked. Here's the difference between the two. The difference between high performers and low performers is largely determined by what they choose to procrastinate on. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy? Like the difference between the two is that, yes, we both procrastinate, but I don't procrastinate like you do. I don't procrastinate on the same things that you procrastinate on. What if I told you guys that one of the keys to being most effective, to make time work for you, Nuha says it goes back to prioritization. Yes, it goes back to being able to focus on your priorities. We all do the same things, but it's how much of it that we do and how we do it that changes the results completely. What do we procrastinate on is the key. When I read this, I said, what? You mean to tell me high performers, they don't try to figure out how to get rid of procrastination? A lot of us, when we think about how do I become more productive, we say, well, you could be more productive. If I could have been more productive if I didn't procrastinate. And yes, that's true, but not 100% true. It's a half truth, because the people who are high performing, they procrastinate, but they don't procrastinate by accident. The difference between low performers and high performers is low performers procrastinate by accident. They didn't purposely try to procrastinate. They're just like, man, I'm just not gonna do it today. I got this paper that I gotta do, and it's due, and you're like, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Anybody in this room who does that with their assignments, where you go and say, tomorrow, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm like, not today. All of them. Like, I ain't doing it right now. I ain't feeling too good right now. It ain't due until next week, right? I used to. Angel said I used to, but not anymore. The Angel is so important, right? It's important. Sarah says me, right? We all go and do it. We say, I'm going to do it later. That thing that you know you should be doing, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. And what's crazy is every time you say later, there's just a little bit less space of time for you to do that. And it goes back to that whole video that I showed you with the glass and the sand and the pebbles and the big rocks. The later, every time we say, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna do it later, I'm gonna do it later. Somebody said, I'll be like, I got time. Yeah, I got time. It's not until next week. But what happens is, in that time that we're not doing it, what we're doing is we're probably adding sand. We're probably adding sand, and then we're like, we'll get to it later, and don't realize that we might end up having to shove the big rock in it because we put too much sand. Brian says procrastination is the professional way of a time waster. Yeah, that's a good example. That's well said, right? It's how we do it. But what if we procrastinated on purpose? Guys, the high performers, they procrastinate on purpose. Not by accident, but on purpose. Procrastinate. Could you imagine if I went and said, let me procrastinate on Instagram? Let me put that till later. Guys, if you put the Instagram till later and you put in a good 8-10 hours of work in, and then you got to go on your phone after you put in 10 hours of work, you're going to probably fall asleep in like 20 minutes, and your phone going to be looking at you, and Instagram going to be like, come on, scroll. I got more stuff to show you. And you ain't going to even be able to look at it because you fell asleep. Because I want you to go and understand that if there's not going to be any room left, don't let it be because the rocks don't have room. Make the sand don't have room. So when it comes to procrastination, I want you guys to procrastinate on the things that are not of value. How do you know what's not of value? Something that if you didn't do it, there would be no consequence. That's how you determine the stuff. Gio, how do I know which things I should procrastinate on? The answer, what is something that if you didn't do it, it wouldn't matter? Write in the chat, what is something that if you did not do it, there would be zero consequences? Write it in the chat. What are some things that if you didn't do it, there would be no consequence? Isabel said, high procrastination is the ability to take on my speech assignments. Yes, important. Yanari said, what did I say Yanari or Yanara? That's how you say your name? I gotta get better with names. TV. Mustafa says social media. These are all things that if you procrastinate, Tiana, social media. Keep going, right in the chat real quick. I want you guys to engage. Well, the reason why I want you to type it in there is I want you to say it out loud. When you type it, it's gonna hit you different. Netflix, video games. Go ahead. Gaming. Too much sleep, texting, YouTube, Netflix. What things? This is good, guys. This is good. The reason why I want y'all to movies, the reason why I want you to type this in is because once you get it out your head, then you call it out, you can now spot it. I remember for the longest time, games on my phone. Yep, games on my phone. That's why my little cousins, my little nieces, they're like, Gio, can I play with your phone? I said, I ain't got no games on there. I don't have games on my phone. They're like, what? I said, yeah, because those are things that if I keep them and I keep doing them, it's not gonna produce something. But I can get rid of it. Like right now, we're in quarantine. I see everybody playing video games. I don't even have my PS4, I sold it already. I sold it because I realized it was taking too much of my time. It was taking away, it was the sand, and I had no room for big rocks. I had no room to read. I had no room to work on presentations. I had no room to go and stay in contact with great people like Jason and hit them up and say, hey, what are you guys doing any workshops so that I can go and do some for your students? There was no room for that because I was just playing video games. I'm playing video games trying to figure out, hey, I'm Steph Curry. Woo, I'm killing it. And I'm killing it, but I'm killing me because I'm not being productive, right? So Tiana says my phone, period. One of the hacks, Tiana, put your phone in a different room. If you put your phone in a different room, I promise you, quarantine radio, promise you, put that stuff, all those things that's a distraction. I moved my desk. So this is not normally where I work from, right? Where you guys see me right now, because you can probably see a TV right there. I moved my desk out of this room because I wanted to make sure that I didn't see the TV. Looking at the TV, I feel like the TV looking at me saying, turn me on, Gio. You know you want to. Gio, I got that show you like. Come on. You know you want to watch it. Come on. It'll only be an hour. Gio, come on. Hit the power button. Turn me on already. So that thing, I was like, yo, I got to get that out of my way. So I went to a place and I moved it to a different location where there is no TV. No TV, so I can't be distracted. All those things, guys, if you got social media, if you're saying social media is the thing that's sucking the life out of you, right? You can't be productive. What you do, here's the thing, one of the tricks. You probably can go right now, and you guys probably could try this and see if it's true. I bet you right now you could unlock your phone and probably go on Instagram without opening your eyes. I bet you can go right now on your phone, unlock it, and go on Instagram without ever opening your eyes. Who's doing it? I want to know if somebody did it. Like, you know, like, yo, okay. You're like, all right, yep, I unlocked it. Okay, the bottom right, Instagram. Like, anybody? Like, did you guys do it? Someone said true. Like, you know so well in your mind where it is that with your eyes closed, you can find it. Someone said, Muhammad said, I'm unable to do that. It's not instant for me. Good. Tiana, it's good if it's not instant for you. I'm telling you, like, literally, I had to go ahead in my phone. You guys can see it right here. I would literally have Instagram down here. And instead, now you can see down here where my finger would always go. Alyssa said I hit it. Very important. Very good. On the bottom right, because I know that's where I was always clicking, I put the Kindle app. That way, every time I want to go to Instagram, I'm reminded, go read a book. Anywhere where you would normally go ahead and click, put an app that would be good for you. Tiana said that is smart. Mustafa's wrote LOL. I literally put Kindle app. So in order for me to go and find Instagram, I got to swipe, go to the section that says social media, and then click on that because I got a bunch of social media icons, and then click Instagram. So all of those work if you put more steps in between you and the things that are not going to help you. It will change the game. Guys, I'm telling you, if we can make the best use of our time, these are the people that people want to hire. Could you imagine, who would you want to hire? The person who can get the best work done, like the person who gets the results, or the person who just sits around for 6 hours and then tries to do the work in 2 hours of time? I want to pay the person who gets me the best results, and the best results come from the people who make the best use of their time. Tiana says, I downloaded Lumosity. Mustafa says consistency is key, right? Lumosity, Tiana, what is Lumosity? Is it like a blocking app? Like, is it something that blocks your apps? Or is Lumosity something that you could learn? Oh, hold on, I think I heard of that. Is it like a brain exercise thing? There you go. Yes, it's an educational brain game. So it's thinking about those things. What can I put in place that I go to a default to always go ahead and say, let me switch that out with something else. Great thing. But again, procrastinating on purpose is what high performers do. We all procrastinate, but we don't all procrastinate on the same things. If you start to procrastinate on the sand and stop procrastinating on the big rocks and on the pebbles, you will see your life change. Your life will change and you'll be surprised, just like the video showed. You guys will have time for your friends. Nuha says she's locked out. Hold on. Why is that the case? Let me see. Hold on a second, guys. Let me see why is that. Why is she locked out? I don't see where her stuff would be for her to get locked out. Oh, that blows. Look. You know, I said she's locked out. Yeah, I don't see where that feature is. All right, so let's go on. Let's get back into here. All right, so let me just get this out of the way. Hold on, I just gotta get this participant stuff closed. Bam. All right, so again, procrastinating on purpose. If you guys are taking notes, take that note down. You want to procrastinate on purpose. Next thing, you gotta have a list, guys. You have to have a list. They said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. What is your plan? So now that we've gone through this, so you guys have seen the stuff, right? We talked about the different items. What is it that I want? We talked about focusing on the fact that less is more. Not all activities are created equal, right? We talked about the big rocks, identifying what are the big rocks? What are your pebbles? What is your sand? Once you've identified what your big rocks are, what are your pebbles, and what is your sand, we now have to take all of that and put it into a plan. Muhammad said, proper planning prevents poor performance. Yes, that's one of my favorite sayings. I once heard one of my favorite athletes say it. He's like, it was called the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Here's another thing I read in a book that was crazy. Do you know that if you plan, I'm gonna just read it, I wanna give it to you verbatim. I got it in here and I was like, oh snap, this is next level. Let me tell it to you guys so you guys can get it. I don't want you guys to miss this. I'm gonna show it to you. Planning is so important, guys. Oh, here it is. I looked at the wrong place. Here it is. They said the good news is that every minute spent in planning saves as many as 10 minutes in execution. Let me say that again. The good news is that every minute spent in planning saves as many as 10 minutes in execution. They always say, there's a saying that says, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. Guys, if you go ahead and plan those activities, big rocks, pebbles, sand, plan it, game changer. What would it look like if you put a time limit on the sand activities? What if you said, yo, you only get 30 minutes of Instagram? I remember the time of my life when I was the most productive was when I was like a teenager. I was probably like 12, 13 years old. And you want to know why? Because the sand activities, and obviously my parents didn't give me a choice, but the sand activities had a time limit to it. There was no time, there was a time limit. Execute a plan, not time, right? Right? Like it's a time limit. So if you put a time limit on those sand activities, all of a sudden you'll be surprised how much time you have. Mustafa says, where does multitasking fall into the rocks and sand? Mustafa, great question. I'll answer that right now. So here's one of the things that's interesting about multitasking. Multitasking is like juggling. You ever see a clown and they're juggling? It's easy for them to juggle one ball in the air, right? I thought I had a ball here. I don't. But if I had a ball, one is easy. Two, okay, a little bit easy. Not that hard, but a little bit harder than one. The more you have, the harder it is. And so what people don't realize is when we think about, oh, I'm multitasking. Multitasking is dividing your focus. If you multitask, you're dividing your focus. And if you divide your focus, then what happens is you diminish your power. Think about like a sun. When you look at the sun and you take a magnifying glass, the magnifying glass is ultimately focusing the light into one specific area, which then creates a fire. Most people think if I spread myself out, I'm going to be good. But if you are scheduling your stuff the way we're talking about, where we're having big rocks, then now you don't multitask. You finish that big rock and then you go into the next big rock versus trying to go and multitask and doing too many things at once and then end up not doing anything at all. My mentor once told me, the dog that tries to pick up two bones drops them both. The dog that tries to pick up two bones ends up dropping both of them. But if it's one, it's easier. So I would suggest, honestly, to try to minimize how much multitasking you do and focus on the task at hand itself. And then you can do multiple tasks, but not multiple tasks at the same time. Because to be honest, you can't. I almost think like when somebody asked me one time, Gio, I want you to go and, you ever seen somebody when they tell you to like slap your stomach and rub your head and do this? And if you guys noticed, I'm not slapping my stomach anymore. I'm only doing the twisting thing again. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys like try it for yourself, but like if you got to say tap your head and do this, it's not that easy to do, right? Like now I'm getting it, right? But it takes time, but it's a lot easier. It takes no energy for me to just do one of them. Tiana said I could do it, right? So it doesn't take as much energy. And we have to be mindful that while we might, the same way we have a limited amount of time, we also have a limited amount of energy. It's like your cell phone. Until we go to sleep, we don't charge out. So when your cell phone and you use it, think about it, when you have like 20 apps open, or when you're on your computer and you have 20 tabs open, doesn't the computer run a little bit slower? The computer runs a little bit slower. And what happens is by multitasking and having multiple tabs, multiple programs open on our phones, we start to think the phone is the problem. We start thinking the computer, oh, my computer mad old, man, ain't what it used to be. No, it's still the same computer, but you've opened up too many tabs. The people who are highly productive, they probably got one tab open. And what they do is they focus on whatever that tab is. And then when that tab is closed, you don't need to open up another tab. Just change the website on that tab itself. I see how it gets confusing, but I focus. Yeah, it's listen, like it's I'm not saying people are not capable of doing like multitasking. What I am saying though is that if you're trying to maximize your production and to be a high performer, you're better off spending all your resources on trying to get that one thing than trying to go and do many things. One of my mentors, I'll tell you guys about mentors, which is why I think it's so great that you guys are in groups like this where you can learn from one another, and why it's so cool that you guys come to these workshops, the spring workshops, the winter workshops, the Friday ambassador workshops. This is why I'm so glad that Jason is adamant about putting these on every Friday, because these things, you learn so much from people. My mentor one time, I was like, yo, you make he makes $83,000 a month. Crazy. $83,000 a month, every month. I'm like, yo, what's your day look like? Like, what do you do every day? And he literally told me, Gio, I only do 2 things every day. I'm like, what? He said, I only do 2 things every day. I said, what are those 2 things? He says, I write an email to my customers, and then I check customer service emails to make sure that there's no problems. I said, huh? So he said, I send the emails. By sending emails to my customers, I'm telling them, here's something that's cool to buy. They buy it, and when they buy it, if there's an issue, they'll email customer service. He'll go ahead and review that. Those are the only 2 activities he focuses on. And he makes $83,000 a month. A month, people. Just 2 activities. I want you to understand more is not better. It's not better. Don't fall into the trap of being busy that it looks like it's productive. For the longest time, there's been many days in my life where I felt like I was doing so much. And I don't know about you guys. Tell me if you guys are like me. There are times where I would have like a board and I would have like 100 things on there, like 20 things. And then because I didn't feel productive and I didn't want to be depressed that I didn't get anything done, I would just start on a new page, or I would erase my board and go ahead and say, all right, well, starting all over again, so I don't feel the anxiety of not doing stuff. There's some power. Stefan said I did that 2 weeks ago. Like, guys, there's power in finishing something. So don't get distracted in doing too many things. Finish one thing. You can't write, don't try to write 3 papers at once. Nah, finish that 1 paper, then go and do something else, right? I tell people all the time, you could eat pizza, but you could only eat it 1 slice at a time. You ain't trying to eat 8 slices at once. No, take 1 bite at a time. Someone said, we miss extra bit of knowledge that can add value to our lives. We sort of lack empathy because we're multitasking all the time, killing souls. Yeah, we just so busy. We so busy that we miss the gift of today. That's why today is called the present. Today is called the present because it's a gift. But oftentimes we're so busy, we miss the gift. We miss the gift, the present, right now. I know it sucks that we're stuck at home. I know that we would love to be out and about. For me, my birthday was on March 19th. Where did I go? Nowhere. I couldn't go nowhere, right? Because everything was closed. But there's still an opportunity in this time. Guys, while everything is being taken away, you can't hang out with people. You can't do this. Man, get a punch of your own. You go and get something out of it. And it's by using the best use of your time right now. I don't want it, at the end of this presentation, my hope is that you will feel like, Gio, I have a better understanding of how to use the only resource that I can't get a refund for. You can't get a refund for time. Once it's gone, it's gone. So now if you go and learn, Gio, I learned how to make more use of my time. Now you can actually get done more in less because you have focus. So it's super powerful. Brian says, most people are busy doing nothing. Take advantage of each and every opportunity. Yes, it's the thing said carpe diem, right? YOLO, you only live once. So take advantage of all the opportunities that we have, right? But the thing that stops us a lot of times from that is go back to what I said in the beginning. We don't know what we want. When you don't know what you want, it's easy to go and waste time. Stefan says, we are often worried about what's next. We fail to enjoy and put our full effort into making the present great. I'm guilty of this. Yes, we're all guilty of it. Muhammad says, seize the day. We're all guilty of we underestimate what we can do in a day. There's a quote that says, we overestimate what we could do in years, but we underestimate what we could do in a day. Guys, in a day we could do so much. In a day, that's 86,400 seconds. You understand that? 3% of your day is 1 hour. 3%. So that means 1 hour of reading is only 3% of your day. 1 hour spent on writing your paper. Oh my, how much progress would you make on doing your assignments if you just focused on 1 hour instead of going and saying, all right, I'm going to work on my paper and then I'm going to go check my phone because I think I saw a text real quick. Then you put your phone down. And what we don't realize is when we pick up our phone, it now takes the brain 5 to 10 minutes to forget the phone and focus back on this activity. So now imagine I pick up my phone 5 times in an hour. I now have lost 25 minutes because my brain has to go and reset. Then before you know it, you look at the hour and you're like, dang, man, I ain't even write nothing. I ain't do nothing in this hour. This is why I'm saying put your phone away. Put your phone on silent. Even if you have your phone on your desk, turn it face down so you don't see the notification come up. Turn off your notifications. All of these things will be helpful for you guys. All right. So again, when I said I want us to make a list, what are the things that we should be doing? Put down on your list the big rock stuff. So if I was to go and do it, what I would do is I would write down what is it that I want, right? So what I want, so let's say I want to make an additional $1,000 a month. I don't know why money just seems to always come in my head, right? So I want to make $1,000 more a month. That's what I want, right? What are the big rocks that's going to help me get there, right? Maybe it's learning a new skill. If I learn a new skill, then I can charge people for that skill, right? So if I learn a skill about, here's how to design websites. Well, now that I have the skill of knowing how to design a website, because that's my big rock and I was studying it, now I can take that skill and now go and create a business out of it, a side hustle out of it, where now I'm making money and getting me closer to my goal. However, if my goal is to make an additional $1,000 a month, what should not be on here is social media. What shouldn't be on here is checking my emails. Because until I get this skill, I can't sell anything. Does that make sense? In the chat, I just want to make sure you guys are still following me along. You guys make sense? This process? Just write in the chat and just sucker to see it. Yanara said yes. Indeed, yeah, yes, cool. Right? So you want to identify what that thing is. It starts off with clarity. Once you're clear on where you're going, the game changes. Then you go and identify what are the big rocks. Then you might have some pebbles. Then you could schedule your sand, but you want to put it into a list. Because again, if we plan it, it's easier to execute. What would it look like if you guys went to bed, before you went to bed, you made a list and you reviewed your goals, and then you went ahead and identified what the big rocks were, and then scheduled the big rocks on your calendar for what you're going to do the next day? That would be so amazing, because when you wake up in the morning, you would not have to answer the toughest question to answer in the morning. What am I doing today? What am I doing today? You won't have to answer that, because all you got to do is look at the piece of paper that's near your bed and say, oh, what's the goal? Oh, we're trying to make this money. Oh, what skill? Oh, how do I get there? Oh, the big rocks. I got to get that skill. Okay, I got the skill. Now I can go ahead and develop and create a business, create a side hustle. I can be more productive. So maybe for you, students, you might be saying, okay, well, semester gonna end soon. I got a paper to write. That as your goal. My goal is to finish my sociology paper. Okay, what's the big rocks that's gonna help you finish that sociology paper? Is it research? Is it interviewing somebody? Is it just planning a time to actually write, right? Those are the big rocks. Write those things down so that when you wake up in the morning, you automatically see what is it that you have to do. Brian says, if you hold yourself accountable for your actions, everything else will add up. Absolutely. Absolutely. The worst thing you want to do is go and swipe your card and it says insufficient funds. It ain't got no funds in it. Guys, these activities that we're talking about, identifying what it is that you want, prioritizing, right? Procrastinating the things that don't bring you any value, procrastinating the sand. All of those things, when you put it into place, it's going to become like a domino effect. Once you have those things in place, you hit that first domino and everything else behind it just falls to where it is that you want. But it takes doing this part. I know it's the planning stage, that if we sit down and we do the plan, that we can go ahead and now position ourselves to be able to execute it. Mustafa says health and fitness is the foundation of success. 100%. Mustafa says 5 a.m. club, right? So it's one of those things, working out. Guys, it's killing me. I've noticed my productivity go down because I ain't got the gym at 5 a.m. I'm not in the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning. My routine is messed up. So now what I've realized is the missing link is, okay, Gio, this is the reality of what it is. You're not going to be able to go to the gym. The next step is, what's your plan? So what I've done is I've lost focus. I've lost clarity on what my goal is. And when I've lost clarity on what my goal is, everything else doesn't make sense. But when you know what you want, you know exactly what to do. There's some people here, you build your social, like whatever you know what? I want to be a social media influencer. Nothing wrong with that. They get paid. They make money. I want to be a social media influencer. How do you do? What you got to focus on? I got to get more followers. Okay, that's your goal. I got to get more followers. What's your big rocks? What are activities that will help you get more followers? Do that thing. But you got to know what is it that you want first. And then from there, you will be able to go and create the plan. But you have to go and have a plan. It's super important. Here's one of the tips I want to give you. You got to make good content people will like. Tiana, you're right. That's one of the important things too about social media. You want to be a social media influencer, you have to go ahead and make good content. Infinity says, personal trainer are giving free classes on Instagram. Thank you, Infinity. I'm going to go ahead and follow them so I can go and do some workouts, right? I need these things in place so that I can have my stuff back in order. Nisi says yes. So here's the thing. So I want to show you guys this big three. The big three, I'm not a great fan of LeBron James and all these guys, but the big three, these are the guys who helped Miami win the championship, right? I worked out at 2 p.m. today to clear my mind. Yes. So now you know working out is something that helps you to become more productive, because if your mind is clear, now you can go ahead and focus on something. So that's good. Here's the big three I want to share with you guys. And then we're going to go ahead and I want to open it up for some questions. We could do some role playing as well, just to go and get some ideas of how this stuff could apply for you, what stood out to you as well. I want to just talk to you guys one-on-one so that way we can go and benefit and make this information real to us. Here's the big three. You want to focus on what brings me the most value. So what gives you the best bang for your buck? Again, the big rocks. These are the activities you want to focus on. So it brings me the most value. The big three also has the biggest consequences if I don't do it. If it's not done, there's a big consequence for it. So if there's like health, they say health is wealth. If you're unhealthy, can you really enjoy your wealth? No, you can't. So health is a very big thing. And the consequences of not having good health is what? You get sick. And when you get sick, can you really be productive? No, I can't. So health is very important, right? So you want to take care of your mind and your body. So those are the things where you think about, like, what are the consequences to me doing this thing or not doing this thing? The biggest consequences stuff, the biggest consequences for the stuff that you don't do, those are the things that you want to schedule in your thing as like big rocks. These are things that I want to schedule my stuff around and focus on those things. Last but not least, you want to focus on things that only you can do. I can't get somebody else to work out for me. So I got to do it myself. But there are other things that somebody else can help you to do. Maybe there's somebody in your house. Maybe you don't got to focus on throwing the trash all the time. Maybe that's somebody else's chore. But what is something that only you can do? No one can do your assignments for you. Well, you shouldn't have someone do your assignments for you. But you know, what are things that only you can do? What are things that have big consequences if you don't do them? And what are things that bring the most value to your life and to the goals that you want to accomplish? Those are the things you want to focus on for the big three. So that when you go ahead and you make your plan, it would be better off having a plan that only has 3 things on it than to have a plan that has 100 things on it. It's not going to help you. Originality is a strong reality. Oh, that's a bar. That rhymes. I like that one. Originality is a strong reality. I like that. So right before we end, I wanted to share with you one more tip, and then we're going to go and open it up. Taco Tuesdays. Anybody celebrates Taco Tuesdays? Anybody into that? I don't really like tacos. Infinity said yes. Taco Tuesdays, right? What else? Anybody else do Taco Tuesdays, or you got your own thing? Tiana says, I love tacos. Tiana, do you have tacos every Tuesday? Nissy said, LOL. Do you guys have tacos every Tuesdays? Like, who here has tacos every Tuesday? Tiana says no, but I love them. Right? Nissy says yes, every Tuesday. So you know what I want to leave you, and this is one secret tip, and this was something my son looks forward to them. Yes. Here's a crazy thing, and here's the coolest thing about themes. Themes like a Taco Tuesday, like a Mindful Mondays or Motivational Mondays, or even that you see on social media, Woman Crush Wednesdays. They don't put that, you don't put that every day. Woman Crush Wednesdays, which is my wife every day, right? But you want to have these themes, because the themes, what they do is they help us focus. Reflection Fridays. I never heard about that one. That's a good one. I heard of Follow Fridays, Flashback Fridays, Throwback Thursdays. So all of these themes helps us direct our focus. So there was a guy by the name of Jack Dorsey. He's the owner of Twitter, and he also owns the company. Oh, today is National Sibling Day. I'm about to make a post. I got to post a picture of my brother later on. So Jack Dorsey is the owner of Twitter and a company called Square. I don't know if you ever heard Square. Those are the people who swipe, you know, they take credit cards and stuff. If you ever see people plug their thing into their phone and tell you to swipe your credit card, that's a Square piece. He owns both of the companies, right? And they were like, hold on, those are two big companies. How are you able to focus on such two big companies? It's hard enough to run one company. And he said his secret to being able to run two companies that have multiple layers to it is themes. And I was like, themes? And when I read the article, it talked about how on Mondays, he focuses only on marketing. He calls them Marketing Mondays. So what he does is on the beginning of his day, he focuses on marketing for Twitter. And in the afternoon, he focuses on marketing for Square. On Tuesday, there's no marketing. On Wednesday, there's no marketing. On Thursday, there's no marketing. On Friday, there's no marketing. Because he knows that, all his marketing meetings are on Monday. His whole staff knows marketing is on Monday. Because of the theme creates focus. Like, I want you guys to see, like, get this. Like, it's so key because it's our focus, the ability to focus, to discipline ourselves, to train ourselves to focus on something and focus on just big rocks and then fit in the sand when you can, it changes the game. So maybe if you would say, yo, listen, Wednesday is writing paper Wednesdays, or you call it writing Wednesdays. Anything that you gotta write, whether it's a paper or an assignment, you do it on Wednesday. Maybe Tuesday is Research Tuesdays. If you gotta do any research, all the research is done on Tuesday. You go ahead and do that and create themes. My mentor, he said he had super happy fun days. He had them on Friday. So he would work Monday through Thursday super hard and then go ahead and pour himself into Friday. Friday's just nothing but fun. Instead of having gym every day, he's like, no, I'm gonna have gym all day on Friday, right? So figure out your themes. Your themes could help you to figure out your focus. So now you know exactly what it is that I'm focusing on, what I'm gonna do for this particular day. You slide all your things into that day so you're not multitasking. A mind divided is like a house divided. It can't stand. When some wind comes to a divided house, it falls apart. But the mind that's fixed on something, that's deeply rooted on one thing, that automatically is somebody you can't really go ahead and do. Don't do catching up weekends. That's so funny. I like to reflect and clear the cache and rest all Fridays. So that's good. And the key thing is if you do put in your work during the week, you can now go and sit back on Friday and be like, I'm good now. But the themes help us to focus. So like, yeah, how come everybody's posting on social media today their siblings? Because it's a theme day. It's National Sibling Day. When we go and say it's National Pizza Day, when it's National Pizza Day or National Pie Day, then you got it on campus, they probably got like, hey, we giving out free pizza or whatever because it's National Pie Day. It's because it's a theme. So they focus, when you have the theme, you put all the focus to that thing. And it changes the game. It changes the game. It helps us to go and know how we take our attention, and instead of it being divided, let's put it all into one place. So right now, every day is National Day to focus on yourself. I think you should definitely focus on yourself every day, Nisi. I think that that's very important. If you don't take care of you, who will, right? So, and then if you don't take care of yourself, then how can you take care of others when you're not taken care of? So that's super important to make sure that you do take care of yourself. Tiana says, yes, SGA does this They also do Taco Tuesdays. Themes is so important. So I wanted to end this because I feel like it kind of could help us all take the big picture of what is it that we're doing? What is it that we want? Planning, focusing on the big rocks, all of those things, putting that into place. So I just wanted to just ask you guys, and this is one of the things, last thing, and then we're going to just open up. I want to see what questions you guys may have. The information shared today alone will change absolutely nothing. It changes nothing in your life. However, the application of the information will change everything. So the information shared in this presentation about It's About Time, it's cool, it's information. The application is people going and creating your plan, writing down what is it that you want, going ahead and figuring out what are my big rocks, what are my pebbles, what is my sand, what is the things that I'm going to procrastinate. This is all questions that I would love for you guys to answer, and answer those things, because in doing so, it's the application of the information. And that's where the transformation actually happens. The transformation happens in the application. So I just want to thank you guys for your attention. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Let me just see how many we got here. Let me just look at my mouse. Yeah, it was like 29 people and we stayed at 29 people. This is great. Was this helpful, guys? Just in the comments, let me know, was this helpful? Was it thumbs up, thumbs down? I'm okay if it's thumbs down. I'll only cry for a little bit. Very helpful. Round of applause. Thank you. Absolutely. Yes, thank you. Thumbs up. Amazing, amazing. I'm glad to help, man. This is Jason. Thank you for just letting me know about this stuff so we could do something like this. I enjoyed myself. I don't know who had more fun, me or you. Andre said this was great. Thanks so much. Your workshops are always amazing. Maritza, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Maritza, I remember you did the Star Spangled Banner last week. That was pretty cool. At this time, has anybody got any questions? Do you guys have any questions? Anything that we can go over? Maybe you have a scenario. Maybe you have a project you want to think about. Gia, how do we go ahead and work on this? What can we do with curveballs? Nisi, so that's a great question. I love it. Yes. So let me just make sure I understand what you mean. Nisi, are you saying that I get one every day? Nisi, are you saying that you had your day planned? Isabel says, I appreciate you. You're welcome, Isabel. Nisi, are you saying that you get a curveball like I had my day planned and then something happened that I didn't expect? Is that what you mean? She said yes. So one of the things that I think with time is we have to protect it. What I mean by protecting it is if it comes at you every single day, a curveball, I would identify what kind of curveballs am I getting. I notice for me, one of the biggest curveballs I would have is my friends texting me, telling me, yo, Gio, let's go grab some lunch. And I'd be like, yo, every time y'all want to ask me about lunch, like, let's go to lunch. Yo, Gio, let's go to lunch. Let's go to lunch. Let's go to lunch. And I started to realize that it was throwing me for a loop because I do want to go ahead and say, yeah, but at the same time, it's distracting me. I had a plan. I didn't know we were going to go to lunch. If we were going to go to lunch, I would have planned it. So what happens, or what I've done, is I now, when I'm working, I put my phone on do not disturb mode. And I put it on do not disturb mode because I don't want the curveball to come. I don't want the curveball to come. So one of the things, if you could identify what are the curveballs, and if they're repeated, like it's the same kind of curveball, then put something in place to prevent that curveball from coming as often. She said, I feel time constrained when I get one. No, and here's the thing, we're so crazy. Sometimes with a curveball, sometimes you catch it and you put it in a basket and say, I'm gonna see you later. Nishi said, I have a professor who's a procrastinator. Don't say the professor's name. One of the things with curveballs, when you get them, take the curveball and put it in the box. And then when you finish doing your big rocks, you can go and put that curveball as part of your sand and squeeze it in if time permits. But remember, if you are clear on what your big rocks are, then the curveball should only be addressed if it's directly related to the rocks. If it's directly related, let me just turn on this. If it's directly related to the rocks, it's at that point that you should address it. If it doesn't directly relate to your rocks, then you got to go ahead and push it to the side. Push it to the side. Don't focus on it specifically. So then that way you are able to go ahead and stick to what it is that you're doing. Especially if I love curveballs. It makes things interesting. Mustafa, curveballs could be interesting until you got something to do. And then when you got something to do, it ain't that interesting anymore. So, but again, here's the thing we want to also understand. I see Stefan said, can someone explain the rocks, pebble, and sand? You want me to explain it or you want somebody else to explain it? Just let me know. But yeah, anything that's not related to your big rocks, make sure that you don't give it the attention. Because again, you've identified. This is why I say it's so important for you guys to make a plan. Because I'll text it to you later or call you later. Okay. So if you go ahead specifically and know what is it that you're clear on and you make a plan for it, you will not let something that somebody else comes with, a curveball, to disrupt you. If you don't plan, it's easy for you to go and have somebody else go and make plans for you. There's a quote that says, if you don't make plans, someone will make plans for you, and they care about themselves more than they care about you. So instead of that happening, make sure you make a plan. You identify what your big rocks are, because anytime you don't, someone will come in. I don't know, any of you guys, tell me if this has ever happened to you, where someone says, hey, you got a minute? Hey, you got a minute? And then they go ahead and guys, tell me with your friends, how long is a minute with your friends? I see laughs, right? Nisi said a minute turns into 3 hours. Someone said it forever, 50 million minutes, right? Every time, it's like, yo, you got a minute I just got to ask you a quick question. Isn't it crazy whenever somebody got to ask you a quick question, ain't never quick? Ain't never quick, yo, I got one thing to ask you. And you be like, yo, what is this? Like one thing that ends up opening up and you open it up, it's like 100 things. Somebody said a whole year. So what I'm saying to you is if you start planning your stuff, the more time you put into your planning, the more you will protect the plan. But when you ain't got no plan at all, yo, let's do this, Gio. You're like, cool, man, we're gonna do it. Only because you didn't put the time in to plan ahead of time. So think of what is it that you want. And guys, when I say the clarity is so important, when you know exactly what you want, you won't settle for something else. Let me say that again. When you know exactly what it is that you want, you won't settle for something else. I look at you guys and I'm sitting here and I'm like, on a Friday, I get that we can't go outside. You know, we got to stay home unless you got to do groceries and stuff. But you could be watching Netflix right now. Matter of fact, maybe some of y'all got Netflix in the background. I don't know, right? But the reality is that you have made the determination that coming to workshops, me bettering myself, me learning a new skill, like learning how to do public speaking like last week when Arel taught, or learning how to go and manage my time. And again, understanding that time management is really just a management of oneself. It's the way you interact with time. That's the only thing you can really manage is you. You can't manage time. And no matter what I do, I can't stop time. But I can go ahead and control me. I can start me, I can stop me, those things, right? So that's super important. Nisi said, put your oxygen mask on first, then help everybody else. That is, you must have attended one of my mentor seminars, because that's exactly what he says, right? If you go in the airport, that's what they say all the time. Please make sure you secure your mask on first before helping others, because it doesn't benefit for you to save somebody else while killing yourself at the same time. If we understand, if I put mine on first, I'm good, I can go and help you too. But we don't need two dead people, right? You know, like at the same time. So we want to go ahead and take care of you, manage yourself, and then when you are maximizing your time, you can go and bring up all these curveballs, those sands, and you'll still have room. Like the video showed, you will have room to get everything in if you put the right things in first. So Any other questions? Never put your dreams on the shelf to help someone else build theirs. Nisi got gems, man. Nisi be dropping bars. Any other questions? Scenarios? You want to role play? What y'all want to do? Come on. What questions do you guys have? Anything? What was your favorite part? I'm curious. What part of the presentation was like, yo, that what there? That's fire. Like that one, you put a star next to it. You're like, yo, star, exclamation point. Inara said the video, right? The video, it's crazy how like when you see it, you're like, oh. Someone said the rock and the sand. The rock, pebbles, and sand comparison was the best. Talia said the high performance versus the low performance, right? Everybody's procrastinating. So a lot of you guys, this is good feedback. How planning is very important, Isabel said. Yes. What else? What were some of your favorites? She agrees with the video demo. Alicia said, I agree with Thalia. I love the video. I love the emoji guessing game, the procrastination. What do we want for ourselves? Maritza says. Ryan says the priority cocktail. Yep. Tiana, 80-20 rule. Less is more. This is good. Yes. I love the emoji. Rock pebbles. As of what would you put in the jar first? Yes. The priority cocktail was great. Right. So now, guys, listen. This is all recorded, so we're gonna definitely. I know Jason will put it up. I'll send it to him. But this has just been an amazing time. I thank you guys so much. Any last questions before we bow out? Any last questions? I'm gonna copy Arel. I want to do like a big group picture. You guys have like, you got to, Arel's so cool, you always got to copy. You can't help but copy that guy sometimes. He's just like, your shucks. I will tell you, I'm not doing no roll-on stuff. I don't do the roll-ons. But just, Sandra, I see you guys. Okay. If you guys got video, I understand, guys. I shaved today to make sure I look good for you guys. I'm like, man, my barber, I can't go and have him come to my house. I see Maritza with the nice green background. My guy right here, Mustafa, got the nice goatee and the little beard. I see you, man. Perfect. Now this is good. So now, any last questions before we take this big group picture? There go Andre. Andre, what sneakers you got on? He like, I got slippers on. Jason got the kid in the picture. There goes Talia. There you go. Okay. All right, we almost here. This is awesome. Stefan's right there. Perfect. We all up in here. Look at the baby. I can't help. Once I see the kid, I'm like, oh, shucks. I'm melting right now. All right, perfect. Let me go and take on 3. Just happy smiles. You know, don't look. There you go. Maritza got good practice. You go a little peace sign or something. Don't do no gang signs, please. Okay, just thumbs up, a peace or something. None. I don't want to see none of that stuff. Okay. On the count of 3, we're gonna take a picture. Let me go and take a screenshot on. Which key? Okay, here we go. On 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. There you go. All right, I see thumbs up, smiles, perfect. No, guys, thank you so much. This was the highlight of my day. This is my big rock for today. Doing this presentation for you guys. It was the only thing I had on my list. And so it was super easy to do everything that I had to do today because I only got one thing to do. So hopefully you guys will go ahead and apply this information. I hope it will help you to transform your lives. I really want you to be at the top of your game. I want y'all to win. I see round of applause. Oh, that's some emojis. I'm learning this stuff with this Zoom. I don't even know like the thumbs up and all these different things and reactions. My wife is a Zoom master because she's a teacher. I don't know nothing. Muhammad said, thank you for your time and your tutelage. I don't even know how to spell tutelage, so thank you. But thank you so much. I thank you guys. Thank you, Nuha. I can't wait till we get to go and do workshops in person again so I can go and change my pictures because you make me look good every single time. Like I'm like, yo, I'm going to use it. I mean, literally, like, guys, I kid you not. I go into my computer and I click on Hostos pictures and I just go and look at it and I'm like, this one today. And I'm always got like so many choices and options. So I truly appreciate you guys. You guys are like family. Sandra, make sure you finish that book. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, you. Stefan says, thanks, bro. Always will be one of my favorite presenters. Guys, connect with Gio as he's a man. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna put it in the chat. You guys could. I'm gonna put my Instagram. Hit me up on there. I wrote it in the chat. This is my email. Email me if you need any questions, please. This is family. Oh, hey! Look at this. Oh my God! Look at this girl. How are you? Let me unmute you. I want to talk to her. Hold on. Hi.
Say hi, Glory.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Ooh. Can I get a high five? Now that's awesome. Now, guys, thank you so much. You guys have been awesome. Thank you guys for checking us out. If you guys see, please, I really want to go ahead and mentor you guys. I really believe that mentorship is the key. That's why we do these things. So hit me up in an email, hit me up on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, all that good stuff. And we're going to do it again. We're going to do this again soon, hopefully, and hopefully in person. But guys, please stay safe. Listen to what they say. Stay home. I don't want to hear none of us get sick if we can help it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy Easter. Yes, happy Easter. Happy Good Friday, everybody. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk again soon.